In every MBA application pursuit, there comes a time when you, my dear MBA hopeful, have to move from thinking to action. As you spring into action and start creating your MBA application materials, there's one piece that will play an outsized role in whether you pass the evaluation of MBA admission or not. And no, that piece is not your test score. The piece I'm talking about is your career vision. Why is having a strong career vision so important in MBA admission? At the heart of an MBA pursuit is a professional and personal goal. That goal is your reason for wanting an MBA, for wanting to spend a year or 2 years in business school, dedicating a substantial amount of time and making a huge financial commitment. That goal is also what the MBA program you enroll in is going to be held accountable to deliver on. Placement success is a hugely important part of MBA rankings. In the current methodology of the US News and World Report ranking, for example, the 3 indicators that are part of placement success in total contribute to 50% of each school's ranking. And in case you're curious, these indicators are employment rates at graduation, employment rates 3 months past graduation, and mean starting salary and bonus. So that why at the heart of your MBA pursuit needs to be 2 things. It needs to be strong and it needs to be clear. What goes into determining and articulating your MBA career vision? Defining your why, or your career goals, if you prefer to think of it this way, means taking stock of where you are now in your career, where do you want to be, and what is the gap between the two. The MBA, the right type of MBA program, should be what bridges the gap. But until you determine that why and analyze and define that gap, you don't know what MBA program will best serve as your springboard. And if you don't know that, obsessing over GMAT, score ranges, or GPA and recommenders is a bit pointless. If you're one of the candidates who is starting the MBA application journey now, and if you're getting lost in the details and worried about the parts of the MBA application process that you perceive are the most challenging, take a step back. Focus on your why until you have a high degree of clarity. Everything else will follow from your why. Your school selection, your goal for your GMAT test score, your choice of recommenders, your plan for mitigating any weak points of your candidacy. Now, what if you have already done all of these things and you're actually writing your career goals essay? Let's take a look at what goes into a really strong career goals essay. What kind of content, what building blocks should be present for an MBA career goals essay to be considered strong and clear? To find the answer, let's consider a few examples of what I call classic career goals essays. The Wharton School's first essay is one. How do you plan to use the Wharton MBA program to help you achieve your future professional goals? You might consider your past experience, short and long-term goals, and resources available at Wharton. Another one is this Columbia Business School essay. CBS asks, through your resume and recommendation, we have a clear sense of your professional path to date. What are your career goals over the next 3 to 5 years? And what is your long-term dream job? But CBS in particular also asks you this. They call it a short answer question, and they give you just 50 characters to answer. And that question is, what is your immediate post-MBA professional goal? CBS very helpfully provides examples of possible responses. Work in business development for a media company, or join a strategy consulting firm, or perhaps launch a data management startup. And this brings us to the 3 ingredients of a strong career vision and career goals essays. The CBS short answer question is a perfect example of how to think of the first ingredient of a strong career vision in general and a strong MBA career goals essay in particular. That first ingredient is specificity. And this means you need to be able to cite an example of a position, role, or function, as well as an industry, and in many cases, even example companies. Now, what is the second ingredient? If MBA programs are being measured and ranked on placement, then it should come as no surprise that you'll need to demonstrate that your goals are possible for you to achieve. This makes feasibility of MBA career goals the second most important ingredient of your career goals essays. Feasibility hinges on clarity, self-assessment, and research. You will need to carefully consider what transferable skills you've already acquired that will be valuable in your post MBA job. You will also need to understand the requirements of the job you're aiming for and to what extent your transferable skills, coupled with learning and experience you'll gain as an MBA student, will make you a strong candidate for that job. The MBA is not some great equalizer that opens every single door you may want to knock on. You will need to build a convincing case for the MBA outcome that you know what it takes and you have what it takes to get that post-MBA career you are dreaming of. Now, in an earlier video, I talked about the types of MBA essays. One of them is a fit essay. But I also talked about how the notion of fit goes beyond just one type of essay. Career goals essays are not purely a fit essay, but a goals essay will always require some amount of demonstrating school fit as you discuss how that particular program, with all its features and resources, will help you realize your professional vision. You now know what the 3 ingredients of a really strong career goals essay are. It's time to start writing, start outlining your motivation for pursuing an MBA. It's one of the most important things that you will do in the MBA admissions process. Weak, unsubstantiated career goals are among the top most common reasons that candidates get denied. So it's time to start putting pen to paper and really articulating your why. If you need some extra inspiration, I have that too. Consider starting with these 3 big and important questions. What kind of person do you want to be in 10 years? What business or societal problem do you feel compelled or uniquely positioned to solve? What environment do you flourish in? I encourage you to spend a good amount of time reflecting on these questions and on your experience and future interests. Don't worry about the first or even second or third draft of your career goals essay being messy. The goal here is not perfection, but iterative progress that leads to more and more clarity. Now go write.